Kayfabe night! Kayfabe night! Beer in our hands and we're leaving a mark. Adam and Tyler breaking it down from the top rope straight to the ground. Crack a cold one, take your shots. Kayfabe life, like it or not. There isn't like the Kayfabe life. Kayfabe life.
Yeah, cool. Just making sure that was connected.
Yep, I think Adam, you might be muted. Welcome in. He's lost it.
He's logging out.
I said he lost it.
Yeah, I don't know where his audio is.
He finally did the Wi-Fi pre-show today, and then now he's got the audio.
Oh, it's got to be something.
Oh, you know what it
Always
was.
with the show.
There he is.
You know what it was. I had my hand sitting on top of. I can't wait to get rid of this microphone and do the lapel thing. I had my hand sitting on top. We're not cutting this. I had my hand sitting on the top of the microphone, and it was just muted.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's where the mute is, and I've never muted because I just like to talk. But anyway, we gotta get. I was saying, guys, what I was saying was, we gotta get these shots out of the way. I got 15 of these things to take. All right, so I don't want to talk about it, but we're gonna get this first one done. Okay, how about that?
All right.
All
I got
right.
some tequila right off the bat, so.
Ooh, I'm
Make
doing
you
that
happy.
one in a little bit.
I do want to add, like I said before, I've never had one of these cement mixers.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The thing is, I definitely have. I know that I've had them at like the Labor Temple or something.
Do I
You know.
stir it?
No, I don't think so. But it's gonna curdle, so you better
It's all
hurry.
going to the same place.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just now how thick does it get there? That's really the difference. And of course, so guys, this shots that Tyler and I are doing, these are the ones that Marissa picked. So these are my wife's picks. So we're gonna do them now. And of course, my wife doesn't get me a lemon juice bottle. She's like, no, I got it in my eye. She's like, squeeze that stuff right in here. This is not my day. You couldn't have got me like the squeezer we have downstairs?
Nope.
We can work for it.
We have a specific tool for this exact thing.
That is weird.
Did you do
That
it?
is
All right,
weird.
here we go. That's
Yeah.
all I'm
All
getting.
right,
out of
let's
that.
hit it.
All right, here we go. That's curdling right now. That's disgusting.
Yep, I see it.
Here we go.
Cheers.
Here we go. Cheers. Oh. Oh.
Ugh.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, no. Too much lime?
No, it was like swallowing a big frickin' loogie I saved in my mouth for an hour.
Oh,
Yuck.
that was,
Oh! Oh!
mine might have been too much lime. Oh.
My tequila wasn't too bad.
Oh!
I do think I have more lime over here for my tequila though.
There you
Oh my god. Yuck.
All right, listen, guys. We got a lot to get through, so I don't want to take too much of your time. But my boy is here. He was very excited about WrestleMania, and he would like to know if you guys are okay if he comes on and tells you maybe his favorite moment or his favorite part of WrestleMania and his favorite match. You guys okay with
Yeah.
that?
Do it.
All
Yeah.
right, let's get our fourth host in here. Come here.
Four.
Yeah, come on. Come on. Come on. There you go. All right, you're up. I can't hear anything, so whatever they say, you do. I got nothing.
Hey, Ezra. So what was your favorite match for WrestleMania?
I like the Demon Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio street fight match.
That was
That
really
a very
good.
good one. What was your favorite part of the match?
I don't really know.
Did you like the entrances? Yeah, those were really cool.
if you had to rate the match 1 out of 6, 6 being the best and 1 being the worst, what would you give it?
5.
5?
Nice.
Pretty good match.
That's solid. Very nice. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed that. It was a really good one.
Will you commit me to?
Yeah, now the sad thing is we got to wait a whole year for it again.
Yeah, right. Exactly. What was your second favorite match then?
Roman and CM Punk.
Great pick.
That was almost a perfect match.
Almost perfect. Tyler's a big CM Punk fan, so he wasn't super happy.
Those are all CM Punk collectibles behind me.
All of them?
The ones on the table, and then the ones on that wall. But the ones on this wall are like I have John Cena and Dominic Mysterio. A bunch of my favorite guys are over there. But yeah, I have a lot of CM Punk stuff. I have... Look at this. So if you look up there, that's a turnbuckle pad from the Hell in a Cell match between Drew and Punk, signed by both of them.
Whoa, that's sweet.
Yeah, there's only 24 of them made, and I have one of them.
That's awesome.
And then, I'd have to dig for it. And then Cassie bought me CM Punk's first card back to WWE signed by Punk, too, for my birthday last year.
Real fan over here.
It pays when you get older, dude. I'm serious. And you'll have the hookup, because as soon as you want to start collecting, I can get you 50% off anything, because I work there. Yeah, including action figures. I can get them half off. Just saying.
Well, thank you, Ezra. I'm really glad you enjoyed WrestleMania.
Okay, you can give them the rankings now.
Yeah, Adam didn't see you.
Just understand that once this podcast is over, you stay with me. So what I'm telling you to do, but
we're just saying he can give them back.
Oh, to me? Oh, you're done? You're out of here? Okay. Good job. I love you. Come here. Mwah. Hey, can you do me a favor real quick? Can you hand me that Pure Your Chiefs glass right there?
The what?
The Pure Chiefs.
So, Tyler, you weren't so happy with the main event, huh?
I was, actually. I was extremely happy with it, but I wish it would have been a different outcome. But I thought that CM Punk not only showed them I did this good and stole the entire WrestleMania.
Yep.
At this age, you should have given me the chance 10 years ago when I was even better.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, I thought it was great. One thing I wasn't a big fan of, I don't know about you guys, but George Kittle can't chug a beer for shit.
Or half a beer.
Or even half a beer. And you know what? Brock was even sadder.
Yeah.
Aren't these guys supposed to be bros? The fuck?
You think so?
So I thought, why don't we all show them how Wisconsinite boys chug a beer?
We could do that. I even got spotted cow for the occasion.
That's. I don't have a beer, but I got a cerveza again. So
there you go.
But I am gonna put it into a German glass, so you can't get much more Wisconsin.
No, you can't. No, you can't.
A cerveza into a German beer.
I don't think I showed this cup on camera yet, so I'm gonna have to switch it around in a second here.
Adam, you would get yelled at the yard parties for pouring like that.
I know.
Did he? Oh my God! Look at the head on that, Adam.
If you were 12 again, pumping the quarter barrels at the family reunion.
Well, I was pretty good at that when we were doing it. But listen, the only beer that I pour anymore is Guinness, and I forget that you with Guinness you want the head, but not with other beers. So it's all right. It's just gonna make it more difficult for me to try. It's good. Glad these headphones are back on me. It's just gonna make the beer more enjoyable. So.
All right. So yes, a WWE Legends Cup. to show legendary football players how to chug a fucking beer.
Oh,
Cheers.
I haven't chugged a beer in a long time. But, well, besides doing car bombs. So, all right, here we go. Let's get it done. All right, boys.
Ready? Okay, never left.
That's how you chug a beer there, Kittle.
How many seconds was that? I don't even know.
About 10 seconds quicker than George Kittle.
And that was full 12 ounce. It was full 12 ounce.
That's why they were cutting time in the matches, because they had to keep the camera on them for so long to chug those beers.
I want to see a race between Marissa and George Kittle on a chug contest. Aaron, I don't think you've ever. Aaron, I don't think you've had the joy of seeing an Irish car bomb with Marissa. No. I'll send it to you next time.
All right, so
let's get to it.
One thing that I wanted to do, I asked Aaron to look up the actual logistics of it, but a big complaint that we were all messaging each other between Saturday and Sunday is like how fast these matches were.
Yeah.
Aaron has the statistics here on how many minutes together the matches were from night 1 and night 2 compared to the fucking ads that we all had to begrudgingly sit through.
Well, and apparently it's even worse. If you were watching like on a VPN or internationally on Netflix, they kept showing the same Hulk Hogan documentary commercial over and over and over again. So
that's what those posts were about.
Yeah. They just got Hulk Hogan continuously.
Oh my God.
Yeah, crazy. Okay. So this isn't perfect because it was hard to find the actual like ad time, but official match time was just about 2 hours and 45 minutes of wrestling between the 2 days.
17 hours
about
of
7.5.
programming. Yeah, that's crazy.
Right. And if you just do like the main show, not the pre-shows, it's like 7.5 hours of show for 2 hours and 45 minutes of wrestling. WWE YouTube put up the entrance videos, and those were like almost 40 minutes each. So that's another hour and 20 minutes right there. So hour and 20 minutes, say, of entrances, with the rest ad time, 2 hours and 45 minutes of wrestling for your 7.5 hour WrestleMania, plus a 3 hour pre-show each day that had no wrestling.
That's terrible.
Yep.
That's freaking terrible.
And I will say, I'll be the first to admit, when people were complaining about the ads, I'm like, look, man, like you don't have to pay per PLE anymore. You just pay. Well, I guess now it's so much more expensive because it's ESPN. But before you paid your $10, $12 a month or whatever, and you got all of them $10 a month. So I always found it hard to complain about ads in those scenarios. However, when you break it down like that, that's highway robbery, and it became obvious throughout the 2 nights that it was like every match was so short.
At first I was comparing it to like a sporting event, like, hey, go grab a snack, like go take a piss, whatever you got to do. But then the more they did it, it just got worse and worse. And I think the big thing was there was no backstage interactions. There weren't even video packages highlighting the feuds. There was just commercials and wrestling. With the only other segment we got was Danhausen and attendance.
Yeah,
and that's all it was.
Well, so correct me. I don't know because I wasn't paying close enough attention in the moment, so I don't know if it did or not. Did they do commercials mid-match at all?
No.
Okay. All right. Good. Yeah. I was gonna say because I didn't think they did, but I couldn't.
Unless you count the turnbuckle pads and the ring.
No, I don't.
Slim Jim tables.
Yeah. No.
What was the story with like all of those personal names all the way around the apron? Was
just
that like
another way to make money? You just paid for it.
They were on location, guys, because Green Shirt guy had one. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Just another ticket package.
Yep.
All right, and then before we get into ranking our matches and the show as a whole, something that everybody was really confused about is who the fuck is Adam Weitzman? Does everybody remember what match was that during again? Where
Rhea and Jade.
That we just had this random like guest commentator that didn't have a microphone connected to his headset.
Just a headset.
Well, what I was able to find out is he was a priority pass VIP guest, just some guy who spent over 6 figures to sit at commentary. No microphone attached to his headset. He's a recycling manager or magnet, I think they called it, in New York, with a criminal record for 86 bank frauds and received a year in prison. He's also a crypto scammer worth $1.5 billion.
Nice.
TKO is literally doing anything for money, and again, not for the common fan. Regular fans can't afford to go to WrestleMania. They can't afford VIP tickets. They can't afford WWE World, and we can't even afford to go to a Raw or a SmackDown. And there's almost no house shows anymore. So good luck for anybody that thinks that you're going to go and see a show anytime soon. The WWE is becoming a 1%er show. Wrestling used to be for the common man, and it's not like that anymore. At least not WWE. AEW's ticket prices are very affordable.
Yeah. Something actually came out today where the CEO of TKO was given a talk at like an Alabama college class or something, and he came out and said that TKO has full control on creative, and everything they've done with celebrities and ticket prices and money-making points is just the world that they live in, so everyone has to accept it.
That's fucking gross.
Today.
Listen, that's so frustrating. I'm all for making your fan experience, your in-fan experience special. Otherwise, what's the point of going, right? So I'm all for that. Baseball does it, basketball does it, football doesn't really do it so much, but the other ones do. But they keep all of that stuff off of TV.
Yeah,
all of it.
Yeah.
All of that stuff is off of TV. So, and that's the problem. It's like, look, if you're already pricing people out of being able to go and enjoy your product, don't force me to have to watch some D-bag who paid 6 figures to sit next to Michael Cole. Like, don't force me to have to watch that, because that's not the product that I'm paying for currently. You know, maybe I'm not paying as much as that guy, but I'm still paying for my product, and it had nothing to do with Adam Weitzman. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, and on top of that, like from what I was reading, he's a straight up criminal. Like stuff about him not paying employees. There was stuff about, like I said, 86 bank frauds. 86. Now, let's say me, you, Aaron, the common guy, we do 1, 2 bank frauds. We're going to be sitting a lot longer than a fucking year. This guy did 86, and they're just like, hey, stop it.
Right.
Don't. That's bullshit.
You know that New York and New Jersey trash system is not deep, so
it's definitely it's definitely on the up and up over there.
Unreal. Well, let's crack into night one predictions.
All right.
Oh, by the way, Marissa had control over all my drinks today, so
good.
I was like, hey, I need a can. I was like, get me a 40 or something, you know. Like, I was like, I want to do this gangster. But apparently, not only am I drinking cervezas, but I also got this Modelo Chelada.
Chelada? Yeah, those are good.
Never had one, so
they're good. It's not as good as Sol. Remember, I used to drink Sol on the show.
Yeah, there's a watermelon on this picture, so I'm hoping. My Spanish is a little shaky, but I'm hoping that means it's good.
Should.
That's not bad.
All right, here we go. So, WrestleMania 42, Night 1. We had Logan Paul, Austin Theory, and IShowSpeed versus LA Knight, Jimmy, and Jey Uso. I had said LA Knight and the Usos, as well as Aaron, and Adam went with the Vision and IShowSpeed. It ended up being me and Aaron were right. LA Knight, Jimmy, and Jey Uso got the win. Very short match, very flippy-floppy on IShowSpeed. I don't know, like, getting in trouble with the Vision multiple times, and then they turn on IShowSpeed, and then it felt really, honestly, the match felt forced and clunky, and it felt like they were really trying to, like, look at how good IShowSpeed is, and it's like, I don't give a fuck how good he is. He's not a wrestler.
Yeah. So
I hated it. I gave the match a 2-star.
Go ahead, Adam.
All right, yeah. I'm full of some of that same angst. I mean, I kind of went somewhere in the 3 just because to give respect to those guys, LA Knight and the Usos and all that. But like, it's such a I really didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it at all. It set the. I think it set a very bad kind of tone um, for the weekend. Like that's the first match that anybody's going to see. And I get why they did what they did. I get that they wanted to put the first people on there to be these superstars, as Logan Paul and I Show Speed, and I get it. I understand that, but it just was not a good match. It wasn't a good showcase. So I think it set a pretty sad tone for night one, and it didn't get better. So
Yeah. Do you guys want the match times when I do this? Because I got them.
Do it.
So this one was 7:08. So 7 minutes for 6 competitors. Um, I gave this a 2.5 star, and the half point there is because I actually liked the after the bell stuff with I Show Speed jumping off. That's the stuff that I thought the match was going to be like. So when LA Knight was messing around with Speed, Speed was doing some cool stuff, but LA Knight's like, no, we're wrestlers. We see that stuff coming. Like I thought that was good, and then the match was just done. Like we barely saw the Usos. Austin Theory did nothing, and so it was just done. So
Logan
yeah,
Paul
not
really
great.
didn't do shit either.
No, and like I said, I just thought there'd be more. Like even if you just do 10 minutes, 3 more minutes of just some cool stuff, it would have been fine. But wasn't great.
All right, so we're pretty much in agreement on that one. So match 2 was Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre. Now when this match had it didn't even start yet. We were on entrances, and I was like, they only have 20 minutes because I knew after that 1 hour the match is going to be done.
Yep.
They're not going to go like, oh, we gave you 3/4 of it. You better go subscribe to ESPN Plus quick before you miss it. They weren't going to do that. I was like, how the hell are they going to have a hardcore match with what were they left with? Like 14 minutes, maybe?
14:04. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Look at that. Damn. So 14 minutes. I thought that if they would have had more time, it would have been amazing because the little bit we got was really good, but it felt rushed. So the match ends with Jacob Fatu getting the win. I had said Fatu. Aaron said Fatu, and Adam said McIntyre. I gave it 3 stars, and the only reason I gave it 3 stars and not 3.5 or 4 was because of how rushed it was. They weren't able to have time. Neither one of these guys was off their game. They were on and they were clicking. They just you couldn't tell the story. They didn't have enough time to tell the story to even have a good match.
yeah, I'll piggyback off that. There's no reason that if you're gonna have a match that's unsanctioned or you're gonna have a street fight, because we'll get to that when we get to the Dom Demon Balor situation. It's just if you're gonna put a stipulation on a match, you better live up to the stipulation. And to say a match is unsanctioned, then you better do some unsanctioned shit. And they just didn't,
It felt very sanctioned.
It felt very sanctioned. Yeah. I mean, outside of the ref being in the black, which I said to you guys, I was like, I love when they do the ref changes.
Yeah.
I love it.
The gloves.
And the gloves,
No blood.
why put the gloves on with no blood? It's and you know what would have been the most unsanctioned thing you could have done, and probably would have actually got some buzz and some thing. Go long on ESPN.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like go long on ESPN. Go 15, 16, 17, 20 minutes. And of course ESPN. But I mean, they would have had a plan and they'd have done all this. But go long on ESPN, and that would have been the most amazing thing they could have done for an unsanctioned match. People would have tuned in.
True.
People would have paid attention to it. But they didn't. They gave us a layup. They were like, let these guys go out and do some cool stuff. This is not Jacob Fatu or Drew McIntyre's fault at all. This is the situation they were put in. It was a shitty match. I'm giving them a 3 because I feel bad for them. But because the match was cut so short, we never really got a good story. We didn't get anything out of it. It should be worse than a 3, but that would be disrespectful to them.
Yeah, you'll see that in a lot of my rankings. It's kind of like we're going to talk about time for almost all of these, so get ready for that. But like, if there was a time issue, my baseline was basically a 3 because I don't want to hold that against the wrestlers. I want to take into account what they actually did for it. So I did give this a 4 just because I thought they did really good for what they had.
Mm-hmm.
And I did find myself enjoying it, but it needed blood. If this was like a 17, 18-minute match with blood, it would have been up there with the rest of the top matches. So
I agree.
You give me blood and Jacob jumping off of something, and that's a 4 or 5 star match easy.
Oh yeah, and that
Even
moonsault through the table is just a great spot, and so. But when McIntyre is just digging that wrench into him, and then you get nothing out of it, it's like
it
that
just doesn't make sense. Yeah.
No.
So I give it a 4 just because I want to give him credit for what they're doing, and I did enjoy it even for what it lacked.
It was a good match.
But like you said, no story.
All right. The next match was the Women's Tag Team Championship Fatal 4-Way between Nia Jax and Lash Legend versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria versus Nikki and Brie Bella. And on the show, we had all talked about, I think we had all heard of it, about the Paige rumors.
Yep.
Well, the rumors were true. Paige comes out. Nikki apparently had ankle surgery just like me. Look at twins. Twinning. But she's hotter than me, so I can't even say that. I thought the match was good. For guys like me that watch the entirety of the Bella's career and the entirety of Paige's career, including as Saraya in AEW, obviously I didn't watch anything before because I don't, have a ability to watch like indie shows in the UK. But everything she did from NXT to WWE to AEW and now back to WWE, it was awesome. I loved it. It seemed like all the girls were on. I didn't see a single screw up by anybody in this match. But again, it wasn't long enough. You have 8 people in this match.
How long
And
was it?
8 minutes and 33 seconds.
Each
They all got a
person
minute.
minute.
Yeah, they all got a minute. Also, the biggest part wasn't I wasn't ready for it to end like the way it did.
Yeah.
Like Paige hits the Rampage, which I love that DDT, by the way.
Yeah, that was good.
And then it was over. I was like looking like I wasn't even watching the pin because I was like, "Oh, where's Charlotte?" And she never
Where's
came.
the breakup?
Nobody came.
Yeah.
So it felt abruptly ended, but the girls were on.
Yeah.
And I think they knew the mission, and the mission was get in, get out, so they can start airing more fucking ads. And I gave it a 3-star. A lot of it because of the nostalgia. A lot of it because nobody was off. Everybody was on. Lash was on. That double power bomb she did. I was like, God, I knew she was strong, but Jesus.
I wish they would have threw the suplex in with that too, though. That would have been
Yeah.
nice. Gotten all 4 of them.
And but yeah, I gave it a 3 just because again, short, and they weren't able to tell a story. To me, the story of the match was Paige is back. That's it.
Yep.
So that's why I gave it a 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna listen. Everything you said, correct. Yeah, it's one of those things, but I can't give it a 3, and I got to put this squarely on TKO's back. You can't give me 8 minutes in an 8-person tag match and expect me to give you anything over a 2. Like, because the very best they can do is mediocre in 8 minutes. Like, that's not their fault. It's not fair. It's not a fair representation of what those 8 women can do. It wasn't. I think it's going to taint any type of title run. This alone is going to taint a title run for the Bellas because the Bellas didn't win it. I don't think it just doesn't make sense to me to put a last title run. They wanted to tag titles, and now Nikki wasn't even a part of that win. It just, why do it now? Just wait till she's healthy and do it then. There's no reason you had to do this now, right? And that's what's so frustrating, is it just didn't have to happen. It could have been a very good match. You could have, if you would have somehow found a way to get like an EO in there with somebody or somebody like that, it could have been a great match. But I'm disappointed in it. It frustrates me because I really feel like creative and the positions that they're putting the women superstars in is making it difficult for us to give good grades to their matches when they deserve so much more.
Yeah, I agree. And coming from the perspective of someone who didn't watch those eras, I have no nostalgia for the Bellas or
Me
Paige, and it's nothing against them. But it feels like Paige should be a singles star in this.
Yes.
It's kind of upsetting that she got put into this because of an injury, and then also gets the pin and also gets the championship when people like Io, Raquel, Roxanne, Ilya, Carmelo, all these people
Raquel
are
and
on the
Roxanne
card.
could have been in this.
They could have just swapped, yes.
Oh man.
And even if you want the Bellas to win the tag team, okay, give it to Bailey or Lyra. Even let Lash and Nia retain. That's fine, and then bring the Bellas on later. So, while I said I'll give the performers the benefit of the doubt, this one I couldn't because they didn't even really perform because there wasn't
So bad.
time
It
to
was so
perform.
bad. Yeah.
So I gave it a 2 as well. We didn't see an Annihilator. We didn't see Bailey to Belly. We didn't get any of this stuff. So it's like, what was this supposed to do? And it was nothing. So
like 1 minute is not enough time for each person to hit their setup and their finisher. Like
No.
Yeah.
Like you
Not
don't
even
even have
together,
time for that. It's crazy.
Right. Yep,
so
exactly.
one question I got for you guys. Now, remember the storyline that we got with Jade, Naomi, and Bianca, right?
Mm.
Are they going to do that, but in reverse? As in, like, Nikki's out right now and hurt, instead of Nikki gets hurt, does Nikki all of a sudden heal up, and then she attacks Paige and becomes tag team champion with Brie?
What they do is lazy. Like it's just this whole thing is lazy. You know, it's just I like Aaron. I don't really have a nostalgia for Nikki or Brie Bella, but they sure do deserve better than this. You know what I mean? I don't have the nostalgia for Paige. I love Paige. I love the movie. When I saw the movie was the first time I even knew who she was. And then you know, she's great. She's done great work. I was sad to see her leave WWE. But it does a disservice to them. What they're doing right now does a disservice to these women, and it's wild. I don't understand it, and to not get the payoff that I think we all could have settled for at the end of this WrestleMania and make it be like, because don't let that last match fool you, right? That last match was a very, very big diamond in a pile full of shit, but. You know, and I don't want people to walk away from there and be like, wow, that was such a great WrestleMania because you had a couple good night 2 matches and the last one was incredible. Like that's not how this works. You made me sit through, 16 and a half other hours of bullshit to get to those good moments, and you only gave me 20 minutes of those. Like we got to see some good work out of Roman and those guys, but like it's frustrating. It's frustrating. It seems as if like we all want it to be a work. We want it to be like this whole thing, like, oh, they're just messing with us and they're going to come in and everything's going to be okay. But I don't think it is. I don't think it's going to be okay. I think it's gotten very corporate. It's gotten very make money. It was always make money, but it's gotten beyond that now.
Yeah.
I think we're in for finally. I think Triple H can say there's going to be a new era, and I don't think it's going to go well. So.
Yeah. I think my biggest takeaway from this is just that Charlotte and Alexa are back to the main event, or even the mid card, but they're going to singles again.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
All right. I don't have these in order either. Just so I don't get lost, I'm going to put them in order the way I have them written.
That's fine.
The next match I have written down is the Women's World Championship match between Liv Morgan and Stephanie Vacar. I thought it was good. I didn't think it was great. I really didn't want Raquel and Roxanne to get involved, but I kind of knew that they would. This is the Judgment Day.
Yeah.
And if you watched, I know Aaron did, if you watched the post-show, Liv was like, why wouldn't I do that? She deserved that to happen to her. That was good. I
didn't
liked
like
that.
See, I didn't
Liv
like it
coming
because I would
out
think
to
she would win.
her pop song, but didn't like it. It's a little cringy, honestly.
It's not for us, though.
Yeah. But another match that they were on, no mistakes were made, but it was short as hell.
6 minutes and 51 seconds.
I was just going to ask, are you shitting me? 6 minutes?
No. So I gave it a 3.
Two of the best wrestlers you got.
I gave it a 3. It went the way that I thought. Liv Morgan. Oh, this went all the way down the board. We all picked Liv. All 3 of us. But god damn it, dude. 6 minutes?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Night 1 was rough.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 3. I'm not justifying this shit with any more breakdown. It's just, I mean, we've said it. We've said it a bunch. Like it's disrespectful. 6 minutes for a world championship match is stupid. Especially
at WrestleMania.
At WrestleMania with these 2 stars. is just absolutely dumb. You could have had so many good things happen in that match, and I don't care about Raquel or Roxanne. Like that could all be a part of it too. I don't care, but it was dumb. So that's it. 3. I'm done with it. I'm not going on to that.
Yep, I give it a 3 too. They just the build up was so good. It was so like they hated each other, and it was so good on what they did, and then they couldn't tell the rest of the story. It was just it made no sense. So what they could do was great. So I gave it a 3 because they're still good, but it just didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely the situation of that's not their fault.
Yep.
The next one, Women's Intercontinental Championship match, Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee. Now, I had agreed with you guys, but I refuse to, I can't. I had to say AJ, even though I knew, I agreed with you guys. I was like, well, yeah, but no. So, it was better. I think it's the best one out of the 4 matches they've had.
What'd you give it? What'd you give it for your?
I gave it a 3. Again, short, but I didn't see any botches. I saw one misstep once, but they covered it up so good that
I don't think I saw it.
Yeah. It was during they were by the right corner, and I think Becky was supposed to like kick AJ or something, and then AJ totally whiffed it, and then they just immediately tied back up, skipped it, and then came back around to it. It's one of those things, but they covered it up really good. I think the rest of the ring rust from AJ Lee came off in this match, but yeah, we had seen not botches specifically, but a couple stutter steps, a couple miscues, stuff like that in those other matches that they had against each other. I didn't really see any of that, but it seemed like the same damn match. Pulling the turnbuckle pad off, that happened in what, 3 out of the 4?
Mm-hmm.
The stuff with Jessica Carr was good.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed that. So yeah, I give it a 3. Becky Lynch wins. You 2 got a point. I didn't. But I can't give it more than a 3. How short was it?
8 minutes and 15 seconds.
For a rivalry that's been going on for 6 months.
Like 4 or 5 matches, yeah.
The greatest WWE superstar. That's not just Becky saying it. That's Sports Illustrated saying it. That's Bleacher Report saying it. And you give the greatest women's wrestler of all time 8 minutes.
And she broke records too with like her wins and the championships and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. 8 minutes. And here I gave this a 3.5 because it was, and mostly because it was, to me at this point of the night, my favorite match. And I thought it was really great. I again seen it 3 times before. You know, we saw a lot of the spots, but they still pulled them off well. It was almost as if they were like auditioning their match in front of us for this one, like how they do on house show. You know, like they were just doing their house shows on PLE, and it was awesome. And now we got the final form of that match, and it was really, really, really good. But it was the absolute best I think you could do in 8 minutes. For that scenario, it's a tragedy. Hearing these numbers is really starting to piss me off. I'm telling you, man, it's starting to irritate me.
Yeah, I really don't have much to add. I give it a 3 as well, and it's all the same reasoning as Liv and Stephanie. They did really good, but they didn't have anything to work with, so you couldn't make it much better than just doing some good moves, and that's about it.
All right. Next, Seth Rollins versus Gunther. So predictable that it was almost boring. Again, these are 2 of the best to ever do it, and there was no mess ups or anything. But the second I saw Braun Breaker, I was like, I fucking knew it. He's been doing media all week. He's fine, and I called it 2 weeks ago that he's fucking cleared.
Yeah.
He comes in, and then Seth gets choked out, and Seth doesn't tap out. He at least goes out like on his shield, which was pretty cool. But it was predictable, so I gave it a 3-star. How short was this one? It didn't seem long either.
This one was longer. It was 17:52.
17:52.
I would say this one felt like it was a longer match, and I'll give it a 4 off the stop because they had more time to work. It definitely was the most involved match. It was the one with the least amount of build, in my opinion, that had the best amount of story still. And I do disagree with the ending, but I don't disagree with the result, if that makes sense. I still think that Braun should have attacked Gunther also, or at least had some type of hesitation with Paul Heyman or something. I think Paul Heyman gets away scot free all the time. He dumped Braun Breaker the same night and got with Brock that same very night within minutes. Yeah. It was like the next segment. So, it's like it's one of those things that I would like to see a little bit more play out with that. I think with what we found out happened in night 2, things are going to be shaken up quite a bit.
Yeah, now it doesn't make sense. I'm lost.
I won't spoil the lead, but it's kind of wild to me. But so I gave it a 4 because they had time to work. And you can't, if you got Seth and Gunther and you give them a little time to work and you give them anything less than a 4, you might not have been paying attention. So, no, those guys are great and they put on a good match. So I got to give them a little bit for that.
Yeah, I actually gave this one a 5.5. This is my highest rated on night 1. I loved it. I think the Braun Breaker stuff definitely was predictable, but I think it was needed for storyline purposes. Like it made sense even though it was predictable. Seth Rollins just, I've been watching back on stuff for a while now, trying to catch up, and WrestleMania is his moment. He is always showing out.
He might be challenging Shawn Michaels, man. He might be Mr. WrestleMania.
He's the next one. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. this was a really good wrestling match. Finally, after all the ones that we had before that just felt like TKO slop, honestly. So, for this to be a really good wrestling match, I think it just drew me in completely, and I really enjoyed it. So yeah, 5.5. I think Gunther gets to do whatever he wants now, which I think is good. I don't want Seth in the Vision Vortex too much longer, but we're going to hopefully get a conclusion to that at, I don't know, SummerSlam.
Get a backlash. We want to get a backlash.
I'm hoping backlash.
Maybe they'll fast track it to backlash. Yeah.
And let everybody move on. Hey, I got to say, I am definitely, I'm one for the drama. I always want the pageantry. That's what I love. It's the reason I still watch WWE. Otherwise, I'd be done with this shit for sure. But the entrances, man, WrestleMania. So Royal Rumble to me is about the match, and I love that night. And I think it's an amazing night. It's my favorite PLE. But WrestleMania entrances are my favorite thing about wrestling.
Sure.
And Seth was by far night 1 my favorite entrance.
Oh yeah.
And I take these seriously. So maybe next year we can do an entrance, we'll vote on who has the best entrance beforehand. But
I still want to know, was it CGI or were they contacts?
They were contacts. Yeah, they were contacts. Wow. And he just pulled them out. Yeah.
That's wild that he did that with no mirror or anything. I couldn't.
Oh, I do it. Yeah, that's
really?
Once you do them, he probably wears contacts for real, because I can do the day I knew I was good with my contacts is the day I put them on a plane. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm fine now. But yeah, it's not a problem.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. It was cool though. I had told Aaron because I believe we're both Supernatural fans, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, it looked like it. Yeah, for sure.
It did, right? Yeah,
it really did.
Well, really he was going for that. I feel like he was really leaning into that Game of Thrones. John, the main guy from Game of Thrones, when he died and came back, and I feel like that's what he was really leaning into on that one.
There you go.
It was dope. It was dope.
I only ever watched the first 10 minutes of Game of Thrones, and I saw a dick, and I was like, no. And I turned and I never watched it again.
That's just HBO for you.
I was saying, it doesn't get any better. So.
All right, our main event of night 1, WWE Championship match, Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. Now, speaking of entrances, Pat McAfee's entrance was red instead of being blue. I noticed that. I also noticed he just flipped everybody off on the way to the ring. I could tell by body language, especially the last week or so, Pat doesn't want to be there.
Yeah.
Randy and Cody don't want him there. Triple H doesn't want him there. The only person that wants him there is TKO and ESPN. And we had talked about this prior. He had turned it down, and then now what Cassie said to me is, well, if you saw those zeros on a check, would you say no? And what I came back with was, Cassie, I'm fucking poor. No, I would not. Pat McAfee is $500 million.
Right.
So if he really loves WWE as much as he says he does, maybe he should have just told him to fuck off. Either way, we had to deal with Pat. Cody comes out, beats his ass, which I enjoyed thoroughly. Then the match goes on. Randy sold that back like better than I've ever seen an injury sold in a match.
I thought it was real.
I saw real, like what Cody said. He's finally hearing the voices, and he played that to a T.
Yep.
It's not the way I thought it was going to go. The only one that thought it was going to go this way was Adam. Honestly, Adam said Cody. The match was not. It wasn't great, or you know what? It wasn't amazing. It was great. They were able to get Pat the fuck out of there, and they were able to tell the story the way they wanted to.
It was good.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
I feel like Pat really put a damper. It was good. It was a good match. It was another crazy things happening in a Cody match. Cody's never going to be able to escape this if he doesn't escape this soon.
Yeah.
Because every single one of his matches has some absolute fuckery in it, and this didn't change. I mean, yeah, sure, they got Pat out there, but then he comes back, and he comes back in a ref. It was all Attitude Era stuff, and I know what they were doing, and I get the nods that they were doing towards the Attitude Era, but at the same time, it was so disappointing in a match that could have been incredible. Like that match, you put those two in, you dim the lights, and you just let them two work in the ring, and it would have been phenomenal. But no, we had to watch for this. We had to watch for that. We had to see this happen. We had to see that happen. Is this person going to come, or is anybody else? It's just annoying. It's annoying.
There was a point in the match that Randy was selling his back so much that I'm not sure he was even selling, and it got picked up by the camera, too, when Cody turned around, and Randy's on his back, and he goes, "Are you all right?" And you just see Randy go, and then Cody kept doing it. Now, we got to see Pat get RKO'd. Loved it. And then, obviously, Cody jumps on his opportunity, wins the match, but it's not the end. Because I was slightly disappointed until the aftermath of the match is where the rest of my rating comes from. First off, Cody didn't get busted open by that punt kick, and everybody's saying he did. He had blood in his hair and on his face before the punt kick happened. He got cut by something else.
It was
apparently
way earlier.
it was a punch before the RKO, is what people are saying.
Okay. And then the other thing is that punt kick broke his fucking orbital bone. There's no way it's not broken. His eyeball was like outside of his skull, but inside of his eyelid. It reminded me of Big Van Vader when he had to push his own eyeball back in Japan. Remember that?
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's what it reminded me of. So I gave this match a 4. Gave it a 4.
Yeah, I'll give it a 4 too, just because of the people that are in it. But I'm so sick of this shit. I'm just so sick of it. I mean, I love WrestleMania. I love the refresh of it. I thought it was going to be a great restart. They are clearly doing some good things with the mid card and some of the stuff that's happening there. But this top of the card bullshit is just I'm over it. I'm over it.
Yeah, that's fair. And we'll get into night 2 here in a second, but I think that's what makes night 2 so much better than night 1 is there wasn't as much as that.
Yeah.
I came out in night 1 being like, okay, night 1 was TKO's WrestleMania. Night 2 is WWE's WrestleMania, is what it felt like.
Man, make some money off this shit. Frame it that way. Like, what did they do with the NWO? You're wearing the NWO shirt. What did they do with the NWO? NWO was taking over pay-per-views. They were labeling it. By NWO. Like, lean into it. Like, if people are talking about it and it's got people frustrated and it's got people upset, happy people don't pay money. Angry people pay money. Yeah. Angry people pay money to see you fail. Angry people pay money to see you eat your words. It's the angry people that you move. So if you got them frustrated already, then lean into it. Give me a TKO versus WWE. Give me just lean into it. Don't do it this way where we have to sit here and watch through this shit and think this is what our new reality is. And then we have to glorify night 2 to be in some great night of wrestling when it wasn't. It was good. It wasn't great, but it was just so much better than night 1 that it looks like it was amazing. So it's just It's frustrating. If you leaned into it and told me that was TKO's WrestleMania, I would have looked at it a much different way, and I would have felt differently about it.
Aaron, what'd you rate it?
So, since I've been doing this for all of them, it was 22 minutes, almost 23. Adam, not to make you more mad, but Pat McAfee's entrance was about half the duration of Liv and Steph. So,
I know.
Just so you know.
I know. Him flipping off at the end was great too. I did like that.
Is there much more of a babyface thing that Jelly Roll could do than take out Pat McAfee? I feel like that just made everyone be like, "Thank God." But anyway, I give it a 4.5 out of 6. I did enjoy it because they did get Pat McAfee out of there, and it felt like Randy and Cody could actually do what they wanted to do. My only problem is they kind of botched the story, in my opinion, because Randy's supposed to be this heel, right? Working the voices and everything, but the whole match, Randy was working from the bottom. Like he was the face who's getting beat up on by the heel who's doing things he normally doesn't do. And okay, if you want to do that double turn, fine. I'm okay with that. But then after the match, you just turn Randy right back and he butt kicks and stuff. So it's like, where are we? What are you actually doing? So I enjoyed the match, but the inconsistency in the story and what they were trying to do just kind of was confusing. It didn't ruin the match, but it confused me, which was the problem.
Yeah,
it ruined the feeling of the match.
Yeah,
it ruins how you feel about it afterwards. I feel like.
Yep. And honestly, I think it's just because they want to redo it their way. I think they want to. I think they want to keep this feud going until Backlash or maybe a little later, and say we want to do this right our way. So
yeah.
All right. Well, before we jump on to night 2, let's do our second shot.
And I don't know if you guys did this, but mathematically, my ratings give it a night 1 a 3.5 out of 6.
I give it a 3.
Aaron, I want you to know something. I don't write this shit down before we do it. Like I'm talking about this, and we're just talking about it. So I had definitely,
break out the legal pad.
You and Tyler both. I definitely did not mathematically go with mine, but I feel like that shit was a 3. So we're gonna go with fair. 3.
So this is the 4th that you guys had spun me over the last 2 shows. You had done rum, but I was like, that's super boring. So I found this probably gross, like pineapple something or other.
Parrot Bay. Oh, remember, Tyler, I had to do Parrot Bay.
Yeah, you did that
6 months straight because I bought a stupid bucket of them. So hey, you're all right. You're all right. Parrot Bay's good all stuff. Right. Tequila for me.
Oh, hey, I didn't even tell you guys what Cassie's pick was. 99 root beer. Because my wife loves me so much.
Root beer? That sounds wild, actually. We should spin after this, believe it or not. Or
it smells just like root beer, too. I don't smell any booze.
Well,
lovely.
Good luck.
Cheers.
It's all booze. Oh! Oh! Why does my wife hate me?
You know, people do limes with them with tequila, and I feel like this made the tequila worse.
You needed the salt on it.
Oh.
God, that was gross.
Okay. Well, Aaron, you're with us next week, so let's spin for.
Sure.
Let's spin for that real quick.
Fuck, dude. What the fuck?
We'll go on to night 2, and then we'll get out of here. Nothing else to do. No other business.
Yep. Nope. That's all we got. All right. Here we go. Who's first? Adam, me, Aaron?
It'll be me, yeah.
Okay.
Somebody writing these down? Or you want me to?
Clerk's choice.
For me?
I got it.
All right. Thanks, here.
All right. Clerk's choice. And then for me... vodka. Thank God. Something I like.
Oh, some regular shit.
Yeah, normal one.
All right. Hey, by the way, we're like the only podcast that does this shit. I have watched
Absolutely,
so many podcasts, and we're like the only podcast that drinks and talks about wrestling and spins for shots and fucking bets each other and everything else. Like we're the only one.
There you
Uh,
go. For better or for worse.
I don't know. I don't know if that's great or not, but here we are.
Tequila.
All right.
Ooh. All right, give me something good.
Fine.
Not my obligatory tequila. Aaron took that one for me. Because if this was just you and I, Tyler, I would have had that tequila.
I know, right?
You're welcome.
Whiskey. You got a good one.
Oh, which would have been yours. This is great. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Yeah, because my clerk loves me. That guy, man, he treats me right every time. So.
All right, what'd you get, Tyler?
I got bourbon.
Okay.
Bourbon.
Trade you.
A lot of
I
normal
have that
ones
one
in
too.
this.
All right, Aaron. Whiskey. Hey, you know what? Next week is not going to be that bad.
Not that
well,
bad.
it's that WrestleMania hangover, you know. It's like, hey guys, just do some regular stuff, all right?
There you go.
I like that. All right. So the match that I know, for this one, we all said Oba across the board. Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar. This one, I was okay with it being short because that is
Yes.
Brock Lesnar's MO. It makes
Right.
sense. Hard hitting,
I thought it
fast.
should have been shorter.
I love
What was it?
Brock selling.
It was. Oh yeah, it was 4:46, and honestly, like you said, it was perfect for it.
Perfect.
It
Yeah.
told more story in that 4:46 than all the other matches did in all the time they got. So.
Oba getting back up after the F5, I was like, God damn, he's the new
But
beast.
like immediately too, like that was what was craziest about it. It was like he hit and then he like started getting right back up, and I was like, oh.
He also sold it a little bit though.
He did
struggled.
sell it.
He didn't. He didn't just pop up, which I thought was really good.
He started
Yeah,
quick, but then showed that it was
Yeah.
it wasn't. Hey, whoa, he was.
It
like, it's almost
affected
one of
him,
those things that,
but it didn't end him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when you're used to getting up every time, right? When you're used to getting hit and getting up, you just automatically start that process, and then you're like, "Oh
Yeah.
shit! No, I really
That
got
was-
hit," and then you finally get out of it. So yeah, that's
I
good.
think what I loved about this match was like Oba was like, "No, I'm better than you," and then Brock was like, "No, I'm better than you," and then what it came down to was, "I'm gonna hit my finisher. Is it better than you hitting yours?" And that's all it was. That's what it was.
God, and
Right.
his looked better too. Oba's
Yeah.
finisher looked so good. Again, he got a. Did he hit him with the sidewalk slam in that one? He hit him with the sidewalk slam too, didn't he?
I don't think so.
He got
What
a
did he
choke
hit him?
slam and then the
Choke
Choke
slam,
slam and then the
Grace.
pop-up powerbomb.
and then the pop
Fall
up.
from
That
grace,
choke
yep.
slam was incredible. The fall from grace was incredible.
Lesnar sells the choke slam better than anybody. That dude can jump.
It was good.
And the fall from grace. He jumped damn near on dude's shoulders.
Yeah.
Like, that was crazy. So
I love that Oba pushes up on that fall from grace too. Like it's not
Yep.
just a drop; it's an up
Yep.
and then down.
Yes.
So
A lot like Undertaker's last ride.
oh sure.
So I gave this a 4. And obviously Oba won, but it was after the match that really shocked me. It definitely had to shock you guys because I didn't see this shit coming.
No.
Brock
teared up.
Lesnar sitting in the ring. Oba gave him the ring, which right away I was like,
Yeah.
that's weird. But then Brock
Yeah.
sits up, and you can see he's emotional. Brock doesn't get emotional unless it's
Right.
anger. Takes his gloves off, starts untying his shoes, and stops after untying one shoe and looks around, and everybody's, thank you, Brock. Then you really see it hit him. He leaves his boots and his gloves in the ring, waves at all the fans, taps his heart. All of a sudden, the beast is conquered for good. Brock's done. I mean, I even got a little emotional.
Maybe.
I didn't cry or
Yeah.
anything, but I felt it get, like I was trying to swallow a watermelon. And then my wife's like, good, fuck him. She doesn't like Brock Lesnar.
Fair.
she's in the majority.
Yeah. But
it was
I gave it
good,
a
man.
4. I gave it a 4.
Yeah, I think that's disrespectful. I gave it a 5 because it's Oba and he conquered the Beast. And that man retired afterwards. You can give Brock's retirement match a 4. Seriously.
I think they could have done a little more with what they did, but I thought that they did great. You know what? I'll increase it. I'll give it a 4.5, just because Brock did retire.
Don't give it peer pressure now. Don't.
All right, it's a 4. It's a 4.
All right, listen. So it was amazing. I was shocked to see Brock retire, but like I've been saying, since we started even hinting at somebody retiring Brock, it needed to be Oba. It can't be anybody but Oba.
You were saying
You've been for Oba to be the one, Oba to be the one that does it. It makes me feel good, and I think it makes it tells us that legacy of that type of person, who is a very rare type of person, is going to continue. So that's awesome, and I hope that they do well by Oba, and I hope Oba stays healthy and awesome. But I gave it a 5.
Yeah, it is hard to say because, I mean, it's wrestling, right? We never know. But Gunther still has that favor from Paul Heyman. But from reporting I saw today is that, like, this was Brock's choice. Not only did he choose Oba, he also chose to retire, and maybe not everyone was in on that.
I don't think Paul knew.
Yeah. So we'll see. They can pivot the favor, whatever. They'll write it out. It's fine. Or they'll just forget about it, like Adam Pearce being on the phone with their mystery man. We'll never know. But
and don't get too crazy. I mean, you still got Braun Breaker, who's absolutely going to be champion sooner rather than later. Sure. And maybe that favor comes in there. Maybe Braun's his new beast, and that's where Gunther comes in, because that's a slobber knocker I'm trying to see.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, I love this match. I've been watching Oba Femi for over a year now in NXT, and I was just super happy to watch this. I gave it a 6 out of 6. And I'll say the reason I did that was because I don't think there's anything else they could have done. Oba was the right winner. Mm-hmm. They did what they needed to do in the ring, and they had the retirement. What else could have happened? There, a 25-minute flippy match with 6 people is going to be great, as we'll see in the ladder match, but it's different, and they did everything they could. So 6 out of 6. I loved it. I think everything was told perfectly, and the retirement just topped it off. So good for Oba. We'll see what he does at SummerSlam. Maybe Roman.
It sounds like it might be Roman. I implore everybody to go back and watch the after WrestleMania shows. Because I learned a lot of stuff that I wouldn't have normally caught.
It better not be
Roman. Usually do. I usually watch those, but I listen to them while I'm playing games after whatever PLE. But this time I actually watched, and this would be a you guys question because I don't watch them. I listen to them.
Sure.
Did this feel like they answered a lot more questions than usual? Like a lot more things got answered?
Yes, and I also think it may not have been on script necessarily, because it seemed like Roman was legitimately not only thrown off, but a little bit upset by the Oba chants when he was at the desk.
Well, dude, I've heard he's a dickhead.
Well, I think Roman threw that promo being like, I didn't expect this, so let's call out Oba Femi because he called out me. So, could be cool.
I hope not. I really do, because I think you stunt. You get into that situation where you have this guy who just beat Brock Lesnar. I know you're tempted to put him into like that main event picture, but that doesn't have to be it yet. Let that guy run through some more people. Let him do this stuff. But what do you do after Brock? You can't really do much else. So they probably have to. But
also, I know SummerSlam kind of feels like it's tomorrow. It's August. And for a Roman schedule, if Roman is full-time for 3 months, that's going to feel like a year. So if Roman is full-time for 3 months, he's going to do a lot, and it's going to be time if they do Oba at SummerSlam.
Well, it's just, to me, Oba's not going over there, right? Like, Oba's not winning the chip from Roman. That's crazy.
Kids start school in September, and Roman and his wife are known to be, homeschooling, doing the family thing.
Yeah.
He's always recovering.
And my thing still stands, and I'm going to sweeten the pot. If Roman shows up more than 2 times a month, I'll do an extra shot for every show.
He says he's back. He says he's back.
He says he's going to be here all
I don't
summer.
buy it for
like
a second. He's Mr. Part-Timer.
SummerSlam.
All right, we'll see.
Bring it.
I will. I will do a third shot, and we'll call it the Roman shot every time I do it. But I don't foresee myself taking that third shot.
All right, what's next?
All right, we got a banger, and I ate my fucking words hard. Not that I shat on it. I said, they need to get theirs, and good for them for being on it. They did get jobber intros though, which I thought
That's
was
the
like
worst part of the whole thing.
Yeah,
So bad.
and it's weird because it was the three guys that I said were replaceable.
And it's two of the guys who haven't had WrestleMania moments. And Dragon Lee had the wings and everything you're seeing on social media. Like, there's no reason that shouldn't be on TV.
No. So it was.
They went 10 minutes the last match. They don't got time for that.
Shit.
This
The
one was
Intercontinental
15-08.
Championship ladder match between champion Penta versus Javon Evans versus Dragon Lee versus JD McDonough versus Rusev versus Rey Mysterio. I do want to add right now, my wife got pissed off at me that I didn't pick Javon Evans. So I want that out there right now because he is slowly becoming one of Cassie's favorites.
I did, Cass. I picked him.
That's the thing. I told Cassie, I was like, it was between Penta and Javon, and I had to go Penta because Penta hasn't had the belt long enough. If Penta had the belt for like 4 months, I probably would have went with Javon.
There's too much untold for Penta. Yep.
Yeah, I just that was my only internal argument about it. But Dragon Lee, JD McDonough, and Rusev made me not only eat my words, but they made me like wipe my ass with them first and then put them in my mouth. Like, unreal how good everybody was on. Every spot was met. This felt... Here's TLC. Here's TLC 2. Here is that TLC match that we got with Street Profits and...
Oh, the SmackDown before Mania last year?
The SmackDown before Mania.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, this is like
It would have been like the third best match in Mania. Yeah.
Yeah. This is like right here. Dude, this was great.
Yeah.
I loved it. I convinced Cece to cheer for Penta. I have a Penta and Rey Fenix pillowcase on my pillow upstairs.
Nice.
So I was like, that's the guy on Daddy's pillow. And she's like, Penta. Yeah, I got her into it. But wow, just like what a fucking match. Also, did Dragon Lee get a contact knocked out of his eye at some point? Because all of a sudden, or no, that was Finn. That's Finn. Finn all of a sudden had one red contact and the other eye was blue. Was he only ever wearing one contact the whole time, or did one get knocked out during that match?
It was very blue. It might have been on purpose.
Okay. I was curious about that. But Rey Mysterio coming out as Deadpool, loved it.
Yeah.
JD McDonough, I'm glad they gave him as much as they did in that match. Because, dude, that Spanish Fly? Serious?
Yeah.
Everybody showed out. Rusev got to look like the monster he is, and it took a semi-truck to take him out of the match, which I appreciated. Penta wins. Me and you said Penta, Aaron. Adam said Javon. I don't think any of us were wrong for guessing those.
No.
You could have picked any six of those guys, and it would have been a win.
Springboard OG cutter off the ladder.
That's wild.
Nutty.
The dude's insane.
Yep.
I gave it 5 stars.
So did I.
So did you?
And so I gave Oba and Brock a 6. I gave this a 6. And spoiler, it's not the last 6. I just enjoyed this day so much more than the first one. And Adam, maybe you're right. Maybe it's carryover from night one, but I just thought these matches were that good. I think the best thing about this match is how flawless it was from spot to spot. They're 15 minutes for 6 dudes, and the spots never stopped, and they never felt forced or rushed. It was.
I never felt a lull. Never felt a lull.
And is there anything cooler than a 52-year-old being thrown over the ropes through a ladder? Like, that's insane.
No.
So yeah,
Did you see Ray like end up like bouncing his head off the ladder too when he went through it? Jesus.
For sure. And if the Judgment Day is going to get kind of weird with who's in, who's out kind of thing, I would love to see JD get a singles run because he's that good.
Yeah.
He is. He's good.
Yeah. So yeah, 6 out of 6, great match.
All right. The next match is the one that made my daughter cry twice. It's no secret that my daughter is the biggest Rhea Ripley fan ever, and she makes me play Rhea's song on my phone, and then she does her entrance up and down the living room constantly. And her timing is impeccable, by the way, for that, like, when she does the stomp. Cece's got that
That's
shit
awesome.
down. She's got that down. It's just like one of those moments where I'm like, God, I should
Proud
record
dad.
this at least once so I can look back, because it's one of those dad moments, where you're like,
For
yes,
sure.
you're still my little girl. So, Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill. I thought it over delivered. I thought
Yes.
that we were going to see some holes in Jade's game. We've seen her do good, but have to be carried with her inexperience in some spots quite a bit. I didn't see any of that in this match. None of it. These two went the fuck off, and it was so good that Rhea was fighting from the bottom the whole time.
Yeah. That
Jade
counter
got
into
to
the
look like
submission
that
by Jade
menacing
was
monster.
so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It even though Jade lost, Jade got put over in this match.
Yeah.
I love the fact that EO at least got a moment.
Thank God.
Thank God. My wife said, "What the fuck is BFAB wearing?" So there was that. That made me laugh. I gave it a 5.
Nice.
But yeah, my daughter was literally watching it and then crying. Quit hitting my Rhea Ripley. Oh, that's how you know you got the kid sold.
I definitely thought it overperformed, but I don't think that's an accomplishment. I feel like they were selling this so short to begin with that it was just one of those ones that none of us expected it to be all that good.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was great. I think it was good. I think they saved what they could out of that match, but I still am firm behind the fact that I don't think Rhea makes people better, and I don't think Jade was in a position to be good enough, if that makes sense. Like Rhea's great, but
Yeah.
I don't think she makes other wrestlers better when she wrestles them. And
Fair.
and not like an EO or like a Becky. Becky tends to make other people look better than she does, and EO makes other people look great. I just don't feel like Rhea does that as well. And again, no disrespect to her, she does what she does very well. Like she's the best, but I don't think it lifted Jade up high enough to make it a great match. I only gave it a 3.5. I just was not as impressed by it.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm looking at it as a whole, and I'm not looking at it as night one versus night two. I'm looking at it as all WrestleMania, and it followed that match in particular to me followed the same mold as night one did. How fast? What was the? How long was it?
It was 10:08.
See, I mean, we're only talking 2 minutes longer than the other one, and
Yep.
granted, that's 2 minutes is a long time in their world, but still, that's not enough.
Yeah, that's fair. I gave it a 4.5. I think the over deliver probably does help the score a bit because I think the feud was so bad that when I was watching this, I was like, wait, this is kind of really good, which was
Yeah.
surprising. Jade hitting that one wing angel was, I think.
Yeah.
about
About time somebody else hit that besides Kenny.
Yeah.
Impressive.
So I enjoyed it. I think Jade showed out, like we've kind of been saying. Rhea's always good, but I think it takes the other person to make her matches great. Io got her pop. I wanted to wear her shirt today if they had a surprise match, but it didn't end up happening. So yeah, a 4.5 out of 6. I think it was just better than it probably had any hope to be.
I may just
And
be
this
still
was-
angry that EO got a cameo, not a spot, and I may be taking it out on this match. But
No, that's fair. I hope from here on out they just move away from that because Rhea's going to be solo. I think the more interesting thing is who's Rhea going to have now. That'll be interesting.
That that's to be foreseen yet. I'm not sure. Here we go. We got 3 more guys.
Yep.
United States Championship match: Trick Williams versus Sami Zayn. We across the board said Trick Williams. It was good. I love the fact that Little Yachty got kicked in the face again. That part was cool. But I also love the fact that Little Yachty got it back on Sami with that rake over the top rope.
Yep.
So that part was cool. And that also set up closer to the end of the match as well. He got hit with a, God damn it, not Trouble in Paradise. What's Kofi's kick called again?
Trouble in Paradise.
Oh, okay.
Or
SOS is the other one I'm thinking of. The one where he does
SOS,
the
yeah.
front flip. Okay, yeah. So he did get hit with a Trouble in Paradise, huh? Which Trick does it good. Kofi still does that one better, but
Yeah.
not
I
by
want to see
much.
Javon do that
Not
one.
by fucking much. I thought it was a good match. How long was it? It felt short.
7:07.
Yeah.
7:07.
Yeah.
I gave it 3
I think-
stars.
I think the worst part of the match is that Sami hit a Blue Thunder Bomb like a minute and a half in, so you're like,
Yeah.
oh, it's done. Like the match is not going more than 7 minutes if you're hitting that
Yeah.
right away.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. I don't think I've seen Sami hit that on anybody other than a fucking jobber that quick.
Right.
Adam?
Yeah, I gotta stay consistent. You know, as happy as I am for Trick Williams, it was a short match, and it wasn't like a great short match like Goba and Brock. So I gotta go 3.5. I gotta go 3.5 again. I am very excited, as you can see. I mean, I wore all 3 of them. I thought this was the moment. I remember this moment. I remember this match, and I said watching this match live that all 3 of those guys are about to go do incredibly big things, and it's going to be amazing to watch. And I do think the highlight of this WrestleMania, outside of the last match, was that all 3 of those guys, the next generation of NXT, because NXT 2.0 is Braun Breaker and those guys. This is like the just after NXT 2.0.
The NIL.
The NIL, there you go, NIL
NXT.
NXT. And this NIL and NXT group is phenomenal, and I'm so excited for it. So the future is great, and I think we're going to get some really good stuff out of it. But 3.5 for now, because it just was a shit time, and they didn't get to do much.
Yeah, I went 4 for the same reason. I thought they were able to do a little more than some of the other matches that were short, so I did enjoy that. But I think what held it back was a little bit of the confusion as well. This felt like a double turn. It felt like Trick becoming face a little bit, Sami becoming heel a little bit, but they just didn't have the time to tell it. If this was like a 12-minute match where they could build on that double turn, it would have been great. But they just
I am
couldn't.
here for that
So-
turn, though. I am here for that turn.
The problem is, I think it already happened, and we're
Yeah.
just going to have to accept it. Even
Sure.
though
Yeah,
it wasn't
it's
great.
it's like a quiet turn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe they run this feud back at Backlash, and I'm perfectly fine with that.
awesome.
But it
And
just-
they further show Sami, denigrating
Yeah.
into a heel. Yeah, that'd be great.
So yeah, they just didn't have the time for the story. That's all.
All right, next was Demon Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio. Both entrances were great.
Great.
Yeah.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
were great.
Before you continue, I got to say, Lash and Nia coming out as the demolition.
That was cool
thing
too.
With the
So
great.
awesome.
Yeah, super cool.
That was really
And
cool.
you got to think, there's a whole industry of wives out there that wear those face masks that didn't know they were represented at WWE, and now they might become
Those
fans.
blue light masks or whatever, red
The
light
red
masks.
light, yeah, those little red
Yeah.
light masks, yeah.
Love that.
All right, now I know that Aaron had said, well, this felt short. I think the longest match that the Demon Finn Balor ever had was at Hell in a Cell against Edge. And you got to
That's
think
fair.
a lot
I
of
have
that
no
match
experience
was,
with the demon. Yeah.
yeah, a lot of that match was like Edge having a big gash on his head and the doctor coming into the cell and stopping it. Remember that, Rankins?
I do, and I never want long demon matches. I want the demon to come in and roll through
No.
whoever he's,
Yeah. I think I think they realized that, and that's why they made it a street fight, because it gave Dom a chance.
yeah.
Because
A
he could
chance,
use
yeah.
something else. Yeah.
And also, I want to add when Finn like hit Dom in the ass, it seemed pretty fucking hard. Like not like working in the ass with that kendo stick. I was like, oh, Cassie, that's fucking funny. That I feel like that was like just between those two. Like, here you go, you little fucker. I enjoyed that. But yeah, Dominic threw everything at this dude: tables, chairs, kendo stick. A chair wrapped around his head into the 619. We saw a lot
that
of
was
cool stuff in this match. But as I told Cassie before the match even went off, I was like, Finn won. If Finn doesn't win this, then they completely fucking destroyed the demon gimmick altogether.
Yeah.
Finn won. I thought it was great. I gave it a 4-star.
Well, and I said too that because he's lost like the last 2, hasn't he? As the demon.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, he can't lose this one. It's over
No.
if that's the case. But I also give it a 4. Dom and Finn can never do wrong in my eyes. Those guys are like the ultimate of male pro wrestlers to me. EO's number 1 in the world, in my opinion, but Dom is number 2, and Finn is really high up there. So I'm giving it a 4, even though it was really short and it wasn't exactly the best, but it was definitely a demon match. And I like the way that Dom at least had a fighting chance. That made Dom stay strong. So I'll go with 4. I'll even go 4.5. I'll go 4.5. I'll be nice.
Nice.
Yeah,
I give it a 4. It was 10 minutes and 27 seconds. I think the street fight was needed for that. Like you said, Dominic looked good. Finn looked good. I think the problem with the match is that Finn needed the win more than the Demon did, and so it kind of felt like was it needed or not? 4 out of 6. It was a good match. It was a perfect in between for all the other matches that I've ranked 6 now. So
All right, the main event, the World Heavyweight Championship match, Roman Reigns versus CM Punk.
I want you to know, Tyler, before you start this, that I text Cass and I said I am going to wear the most disrespectful shirt to the show on Monday, and she said, "Please don't." and so I didn't, but I was going to come up with something that was just going to be like.
There was a solid 2 hours where nobody in the house talked to me.
This was within that. This was within that time frame. I think I was Cass's stylist in that moment, but she messaged me during that, and I was like, "I'm gonna wear something disrespectful."
I really had to digest it, and I came out after that 2 hours, especially. I came out appreciating and respecting this match even more. This match, you got
the
Roman
Reigns. This one means more to you than anybody. So
I think so. You got Roman Reigns beating the ever-living piss out of CM Punk. By the way, Roman Reigns used stairs. That's a weapon. That's a DQ. Anybody catch that? Because I sure fucking did.
They did Cody and Randy too.
Yeah.
Yeah. What the fuck? Do stairs not count anymore?
I feel like what they're doing is it's an environmental thing. You know what I mean? If you pick it up and throw it at them, that's one thing. If you throw them into it, that's another thing. And
it's the ref saying this is such a big match. I gotta let some things happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like the table too. NFL. When you see a holding call, but you're like, well, he's been holding all day.
Yeah.
Well, and the tables should be. Those are foreign objects too, but it's an environmental clause.
Yeah, tables never count. That's true. That is true. Tables never count. But Roman just, especially when Punk got hung upside down. But I know when Punk was showboating so much, I looked at Cassie and went, he's going to lose. This is typical Punk. First off, by the way, Punk was wearing white immediately, because Cassie remembers every time Punk wears white, he bleeds. Make a note of it. Anytime Punk wears white trunks, he bleeds. Sure shit, when he got busted open, Cassie went, you were right. And I was like, I know.
Yes, it makes sense. It makes sense too.
Just like Ric Flair dyeing his hair blonde because you see the blood in it. That's why he did it initially. It's not, at least that's why I think. I mean, that's why most people bleach their hair back in the blading days, at least. These guys gave everything they had plus some, and if Roman Reigns didn't come out of this match respecting CM Punk, also, like over halfway through the match, I saw CM Punk look at him and go, "Still think I'm fucking old?" I was like, "Oh my fucking, let's fucking go!" You know, I got into it. It was an amazing match. I wish it would have ended different, but all I can say is Punk took this match, and it was like what he did with the Taker match before he left WWE. Watch how good I am. I'm going to throw the ball and catch it, and I'm going to spike it down your fucking throat. Well, he did that again, but he did it 10 years older than when they were going to not give him the main event back then. Imagine how good it would have been then. I gave it a 6 star. I think they both sold the shit out of each other in this match. Roman looks surprised, like, holy fuck, this old fucker's kicking my ass, and Punk's on the other end is going, you know, I thought I was going to kick this young guy's ass. It's not happening. It felt like this match stole the entire WrestleMania for me.
Yeah, listen, 6 stars for me. I agree. No notes. No notes. It was the only thing I got is that I really thought for Roman being off as long as he's been, and not wrestling as much as he's wrestled, he looked incredible. The dude looked wild.
Why doesn't he rust like everyone else? God damn it.
He looks like he's in such incredible shape. But so did Punk. Punk looked incredible. He looked incredible shape. He looked like he didn't look gassed. He definitely didn't look blown out. This was one of my favorite matches I've had the pleasure of watching. So it's absolutely a 6 for me.
Hey, there's one more person we got to tip our hat to for their WrestleMania body. Gunther trimmed the fuck up and diced himself up again. Did you guys? Because he was starting to get a little flabby the last 3 or 4 times. You can't
go into that ring. He knows you can't go into that ring with Shawn Michaels Jr. and be flabby. Like if you're in there with Seth, you better be able to go. So
he posted some workout stuff with Ludwig. It was cool recently.
Yeah, but listen, I think it was great. 6 out of 6 stars. Great match. Hats off to Punk. I gave him a hard time, but he did incredible. Roman's my guy, but he did awesome as well. So,
yeah, I gave it a 6 as well. It was just that good. I think it was really cool that they actually let this match rock and there was no outside interference. I think that really helps. I think that helps Roman a lot too.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I'm going to come out to my original theme, so you're going to think this is a tribal chief situation, but it's not. I'm going to go out there and beat him myself. And it was really cool to see that. Go ahead.
Oh, no. I just agree. Yep.
Cool. No,
somebody's got 5 minutes.
That's Marissa down there.
Yeah, I'll wrap it up. It was just that good of a match. And I think one of the best things about it was the long-term storytelling. Punk hits that go to sleep at the end, right? And then Roman pops off the ropes that we've seen, 100 times with Punk
and that falls on him. Yep.
And he goes to hit the second go to sleep, and he collapses. So Punk is getting a little bit old. It was just such a good cap onto what they made the feud about, even if I didn't love it in the situation. Like, in the moment, it paid it off in the end. That was like, he was that close. But Roman was able to take advantage of what he had over Punk. And it was just, super great. I'm excited for what Roman can do if he's going to be full-time. Love that we got the blood on this one, too. I think it meant a lot to them to do that. Roman looked great. Punk looked great. It'll be interesting to see what Punk does next. I don't know if he gets a little time off or what, but...
Yeah. I don't know.
I feel like Punk can't be part of it unless he's all out. So I don't know what that could look like if it's not a break.
Yeah. That 5 minutes, by the way, was 5 minutes till Raw starts. So let's wrap it up. Let's give our last grades.
So first off, tallies. Tyler
we don't
and
need to do
Aaron
that. We can just skip past that.
got 10 out of 13, and Adam got 9 out of 13. You were right there. It was this, like I said, this was tight.
I want a recount. I want this done in court. Aaron, you know some people, right? I want this done. I want this litigated.
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
so whole show out of 6, 3.5.
You're getting the same out of me, 3.5.
And so I broke it down out of what I had. Night 1 was 3.5. Night 2 was 5. So it gives it a 4.5 out of 6 for both.
4.5. Yep. Rankins, you ready to alert
Gauntlet? Quite frankly, fuck off. So, I'm going to do them. I have them right here. But listen, now it said 3 back-to-back shots.
Yeah.
Now, do you want me to do these back-to-back, or do you want me to do them all at once? Because I could do them all at once.
Do them all at once.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Hell yes. That's what I was hoping for. Give me a second.
All right.
Actually, you know what? My daughter's cup's right here. We'll do this.
There you go. While pouring.
This is such a fucking Wisconsin show. It's ridiculous.
Look at this thing. By the way, look at this cup. Tell me this isn't the most Wisconsin cup you've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
That's definitely a Wisconsin cup.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. I'm going to do this quick so we can get out. You finish up, do the things while I do all this, and then we'll get out of here.
While he's pouring, I'll say I said this last time.
Oh, there we go.
Sure you're watching the other shows. NXT is tomorrow. It's the second day of NXT Revenge, and you got Zarya versus Sol Ruka in a last woman standing match. I think we get Zarya winning, and we get a first ever Hell in a Cell NXT match between those two before Sol gets called up.
That would be beautiful.
Put it in your pipe. We'll see what happens.
All right, hit him with the other stuff, Tyler. What do you got?
I don't know. Monday Night Raw tonight. I go to see my doctor
for Mania.
tomorrow.
We'll see.
So I get a new dressing for my bandage.
This is a cup. It's a damn cup. Oh my god! All right, that's
You should have just done the spice challenge.
This is 3. No, this will at least stop hurting when I die.
It'll still be faster than George Kittle's chug.
This is 3rd. Oh, this is gonna be the fastest thing you've ever seen because there's no way I'm letting this shit hang out in my mouth.
Oh my god!
God damn it! All right, here we go. So I got my 3 in here and my daughter's snack cup, and I am absolutely a punk bitch, and I'm gonna go ahead and chase this with some blackberry raspberry.
To do 3 Malorts, I don't blame you.
Raw starts in 1 minute, so hey, remember guys, we love you, we care about you. If you need anything, you reach out to us. Bad times don't last like this Malort's about to, but bad guys do. I think I might die.
Bottoms up.
Oh. Oh. Oh, I didn't get it all. Hold on, I got to go back in. I didn't finish it. Oh.
He's the man of his
This
word.
makes my ankle hurt so much less.
No, I'm a man of my word. Here we go. Oh, fuck off. We love you. We care about you. I got to go.
Peace.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Oh, how do you stop this thing? I don't even know how to stop this thing right now. I can't speak. I've seen 6 different things. Oh, you guys might have to stop it. Here it is.
I don't know how to stop it.
Oh, my gosh. Here it is. All right. Get out of here. Bye.
Kayfabe